right, so there's the Iron Age Mystics, and
Wow.
we have two of the Iron Age Mystics here right now, Kevin and Clayton from the band, and great to have you guys here.
Hey, great to be here. Thanks.
So, well, we were just talking about, we can get into bass gear later, okay, Clayton? But,
So just to state, okay, I thought the Iron Age Mystics were actually mystics.
see, because she's a mystic.
So I thought we could talk mystical stuff, but it's...
Maybe they are mystics.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Maybe
Well,
their lyrics.
they must have come up with that name somehow.
Well, you guys showed a YouTube thing about the UFO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a UFO song. We can talk about that.
Wow. Did you actually see
Have you ever
UFOs?
seen it? Yeah. Have you ever seen one?
I thought I did when I was a kid.
How big was it?
It was very fast-moving, silvery, and went whoosh.
Oh.
So it not like
Okay.
a normal plane
Airplane.
or...
Yeah, it wasn't like it
jet.
was sitting there hovering in my face or anything, but
Wow. Neat.
Clayton.
I like that sort
So,
of.
Did you see one too?
No, I've never
Al
seen
did.
them.
Our guitar player said he did.
Yeah.
wow.
Al, you're busted. I just gave you.
So okay, well, I'm curious though. The name Iron Age Mystics.
Yeah, it's a
it's
very
a
cool
very
name.
distinctive name. Just curious what the story is behind that.
Well, I constructed Iron Age Mystics, the name, out of, I mean, we had about 5 sheets of paper when we're trying to pick a name, and that's about the hardest thing you can do when you're a band.
I know.
At any rate. Oh, yeah.
Is that harder than getting along?
Yeah, definitely.
We still don't have a name, but that's another story. But
I can hand you our list. You can
Oh.
good ones on that.
okay.
Put all the names in a hat, pick one.
Yeah. No.
No, that doesn't work.
That doesn't work. No.
Yeah. So how did it go down?
Well, I was sitting on the couch just after I got home, and my brain went off like a light bulb, and I went Iron Age Mystics, and it was sort of a composite of I'd been reading some Eastern philosophical stuff, and what happened was the Golden Age, the Bronze Age, the Silver Age, and the Iron Age. I'd been reading about how that became the transition, I think, through 5,600 years or something.
So you
like
talk about something to do with the Mayans as well?
No, not so much Mayan. I mean, I think that's a different cycle.
Okay.
This is more...
Because they talk about the Iron Age and the Golden Age too, don't they? Like there's that pyramid or something that
They
talk-
have cycles, yeah. It's almost like they can interface. But
Okay.
anyway, to make a long story short, we are apparently at the end of the Iron Age, where humankind is at its most material. It's kind of lost its way spiritually, and so I thought, well, Iron Age, and then mystics, well, you know, kind of the people who can see through that,
Right.
you know. So it's kind of like the high point or the low point, you know.
Wow.
Okay.
So that's what they came
So
from.
do your lyrics reflect that kind of philosophy, or?
Our lyrics are generally pretty political.
Okay.
Very
Okay.
socially conscientious.
Wow. Okay.
We just recorded a song called Down Deep, which is basically about the renewal of what I believe could be happening, which is more grassroots movements rising up from obviously the use of the internet to some degree.
Yes.
And very optimistically about the reconstitution of the brotherhood of man.
You're optimistic?
Yeah, generally speaking.
Okay.
I
See
take,
that smile?
Well,
Yeah, generally
no,
speaking,
that's
smile.
yeah. Well, I mean, you know, sometimes I'm struggling with these issues all the time, and sometimes I'm less optimistic. So
I pick you up.
Yeah, you do. You know, I'll go with you know, distract. Not that you're just. I mean, yes, you pick me up.
Okay.
But seriously, Kevin. But I mean, what is it? I mean, what kindles your optimism? Just curious.
well, you know, when I said that we were at the bottom end of the or the end of the line in terms of age and very material, very chaotic. Obviously, if you follow the news, it seems.
Can
to
we only go up from here? Really?
Yeah,
No.
pretty much.
things could get a lot worse.
Well, actually, I kind of agree with you. Things might get a lot worse before they get better. But I think if you pay attention to some of the, I watch the Real News Network a lot.
Yeah.
Democracy Now. People are just getting a lot more informed about what's going on, and I think that's a tremendously optimistic thing in and of itself. You know.
Wow, that's great. That's see, there was.
You're hesitating on me there.
Well, I mean, we can talk all day about this kind of stuff, but I mean, I would love to be optimistic. I'm just saying that, and sometimes I am optimistic, and then sometimes I'm not. So.
And I think that's most people. Right?
Yeah.
I think most of us are sometimes yes, sometimes no.
So Iron Age Mystics now. So how long you been doing music, Kevin?
Myself?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. I think my first real career benchmark, in fact, I'm sure of it, was I was a singer for a band called New Regime. There was an RCA BMG record, or signed to RCA BMG Records back in the 80s.
I think I've heard of New Regime, actually. I think I've heard of you guys.
Yeah, we had a good run. We toured a lot. We put out several singles, several videos.
It was pop music? Like pop rock?
Yeah, it started off as new wave and then turned into rock.
Okay.
So that was my first push out, and I was very young. And I found out very quickly about how the corporate world works in terms of marketing. And
you were just a puppet, right?
I was both a puppy and a puppet at the time, yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I think it was the best school for the sort of thing that money can buy. I'll put it to that way. And I didn't find at the time. I mean, I wasn't very well studied in politics. Not to say I'm a student now, of course, but I didn't obviously know at the age of 21 what I know now. So it's taken me a long and winding road to actually find my voice in terms of not singing voice, obviously, but you know what I want to say in the context of my music or our music.
So the music is political, and you've got this, in a sense, you are a mystic with this optimistic approach. Or optimistic
oh, that's cool.
Output. But I'm curious.
Too late to change our name.
Having a political voice in music like that, I would think that is sort of part of the optimism in the sense that you're feeling an ability to contribute to a positive shift in the way things are going politically, and then that needs to happen.
Yeah, I think that is what is happening. I think it's happening organically, and I think it's happening naturally, and I think it's happening in part due to the way people have been feeling and not speaking, and partly due to the wonderful internet, of which you can disseminate. You hear a lot of different voices, sometimes too many, but it's definitely a crucial tool in, I think, social change.
So I'm just curious with the political take that you do with the band and the music, what would you like to see, and you can answer a different question if you like, but what would you like to see politically in Canada to start maybe, or maybe in the world in general? What can we be doing better?
Well, I could write a book on that one. Clayton, do you want to give it a go?
Yeah, well, there are a bunch of groups out there that are putting in a lot of the legwork, a lot of NGOs and nonprofits that are really doing some of the hard research and building those systems where people can find this information relatively easily and put people in, connect people to actions as well. There's groups like Democracy Watch out of Ottawa.
They're in Ottawa?
They're headquartered in Ottawa, yes.
Okay.
And that's a great group of people, and they've been around for a couple of decades. And
wow. Have you ever heard of them? I've not even heard of them.
I think I heard of them.
Yeah.
So do they keep an eye? What do they do? They're the watchdog for...
They're basically the watchdog on good governments in the country.
Well, they must be thrilled these days.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of content that they can generate without too much effort.
My Harper is perfect fodder for that. Eh?
But well, it's all about finding the balance. Like there's good and bad in everything, and you have to try to sift through it. So they've survived and thrived on, you know, very low budget and taking various governments to court, all the way to the Supreme Court sometimes, to try to force some positive legislative change to improve government ethics and corporate responsibility and honesty in politics. They have a few different campaigns. It's very, very focused and pretty powerful content. It's I encourage folks to check out the group, and there's lots of other groups like that are you know, really leading the way. And you know, as Kevin was mentioning, the internet's a great place. If you surf for a little bit, you can find some of these good organizations out there.
Maybe the worst thing that people can do is to kind of become cynical and give up.
Yeah, Hugh.
I know, I'm saying this from experience, because, you know, there's always maybe something we can do. Okay, so the band. Getting back to the band. Just
you guys have a new CD
sorry, did you want to say something?
Nope, I just said right.
Okay.
Just agreeing with him.
How did the band come together? What's the story of Iron Age Mystics?
Well,
pretty simple stuff, really. A friend of mine was having a two-man, well, three-man, including my friend, stag party at Toronto Island.
Stag party.
It's not what it sounds like.
Was it on one of the beaches?
It's never what it sounds
No,
like.
it was just three guys who got together to celebrate a friend getting married, and our mutual friend Vincent de Tournai was good friends with both myself and Greg, our drummer, but Greg and I had never met. So Greg had heard, hey, I hear you sing. Yeah, I do a little bit of that. And, so at the actual wedding itself, him and I said, yeah, let's go for it. And he already knew from another band, Clayton, and him and Al, our guitar player, are old friends. So we just started off as a writing project, and I was just getting my feet wet because I hadn't written anything original in quite a few years and wasn't really sure where I wanted to go. But it's one of those things where chemistry really did take over.
That's the most important thing, really,
Yeah.
When it
Yeah,
comes
definitely.
to a band that works. Clayton, what bands were you in before that maybe we heard about?
I never really made it onto the, you know, international touring scene. Just various, mostly hobby bands. Just kind of home studio, little recording projects, playing live shows here and there.
Yeah.
I'm just various bands throughout the years. Nothing that would, you know, really
Is this the biggest project you've been on? Been working on this one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
This must be exciting then.
It is exciting. Amazing group of talent and a lot of potential and good writing. You know, the music, the backbone of the band is just really strong.
So do you guys write as a collective, or is it pretty?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I am the lyrical voice of the band,
Okay.
but other than that, we all contribute music. We all develop everything in the same room together, all at the same time.
So there's no expectation when you go in with a song. There's no this vision, and you know you got to stick to this vision and what the songs. And that's great, because oftentimes it doesn't come out the way you anticipated anyway, right?
Yeah, quite often. Yeah, it does change. It does evolve a lot over time.
Yeah, Clayton can certainly speak to that, because we've taken a few of his ideas and turned them upside down and shook them around, and it takes a while to get used to, but
Wow.
Now I understand you guys are in the studio now, putting a new record together. That's got to be an exciting thing. And you put other stuff on hold, performing and touring, at least for the
yeah,
moment?
that was the idea. I mean, we don't have, as individuals, I mean, we still, of course, have day jobs, and we work our work, and our lives, and our family lives.
Just like all Canadian bands.
Pretty much, yeah. So we have to squeeze in our work on Sundays and in the cracks when we can, you know, get to it, basically.
Yeah.
So it's pretty fast and furious when we get together. We earnestly go at it as hard as we can, and so there's only so much time for live rehearsal, as you would know. And if you're recording, that pretty much takes all your concentration anyway, so that's where we're at.
So really you can do one thing or another, because you are working full time, so it's not like
yeah.
you can perform and record and do all that stuff. You can do one thing or another, because
Yeah,
there's just so many hours in a day.
Now, do you guys have a name for this new record that putting together?
I don't think I told you this.
You're hearing it here first.
It's a working title. I thought that critical mass would be a good way of rounding up our ideas, which is a theory of course, once you reach a certain threshold of common understanding, then boom, the lights go on in everybody's minds. And
that's a great. So that's the name so far.
It's the working title.
That's working title.
Awesome.
These
That
guys may turf it
sounds
on me, you know.
Amazing.
It's very democratic.
What do you think now you've just heard it? No pressure.
No, it fits with the type of music we're writing, just as probably 100 other titles do. So.
What a politically correct answer.
Well,
He doesn't want Kevin to play this at practice later and use it as evidence.
And as we're leaving the building, Clayton's gonna go, "Where did you come up with that goofy name?"
What were you thinking?
That happens on our
It's
bed
tough.
all the time,
It's
too.
tough to name something before you see the final product. You never know if
That's a good point.
you
too.
know Kevin
Yeah.
might write a reggae song and force it on the album or something.
That won't be
She
tomorrow,
chooses
Clayton.
So where are you at in the process? Do you have most of the songs written or recorded, or?
That's another thing that I love about these guys is we're extremely prolific.
Wow.
So we have probably about 2 albums worth of material. So we're picking through what we believe to be the most cohesive together tracks, as well as I think the most enjoyable for where we're at now. And we're in the recording process. We're not finished it, but we just did the bed tracks for our 7th track. We're going to go for 12. So that's about how far along we are. We're hoping to be done this by around May.
By May, and then when do you think the album would be released?
It's going to be available for upload, I think, shortly thereafter. We're talking to, or are going into a process of negotiation with an American independent label, which has distribution through, I think, Universal in North America. So that may change what we've determined to be a May-June release, depending on how it works out with these guys. So.
Sure. Yeah, well, that's good. Good luck with that.
Oh, thank you
hope
very
that
much.
works out for you. And just curious, where are you recording it?
Oh, a studio called Verge.
Okay.
It's on basically Gloucester and Jarvis. It's not a big studio, but the cast of characters there are a lot of fun, and it's loose and easy. You know?
It's a great neighborhood to be doing stuff like that too.
Definitely.
Before we go, Clayton, what's your shirt? What's your T-shirt? It's interesting. I'm seeing this.
The No Raptors.
Ah.
It's from a comic called XKCD, and the author has a mild paranoia of velociraptors.
Well, who wouldn't?
From Jurassic Park. So.
Oh, okay, so it's not no Raptors like Toronto Raptors.
No.
The basketball team.
No.
I was like, get basketball out of Toronto or something. That's politically.
No, we're not really anti-sport
Okay.
in the band.
Well, we can look forward to the record, I guess, coming out this year sometime. We'd love to hear it when
Maybe
it does come out.
Oh, absolutely, guys.
Sure.
Are you planning on doing a launch party or launch event when it does come out?
Oh yeah, you betcha.
For sure.
Yeah.
Any
You're-
ideas
you're
when and
invited.
where yet, or?
No. Well, when is after we finish the record, which we hope, as I've mentioned, is May, June.
So probably summer, early summer or something, right? We're probably looking.
Well, we'd love to actually get you back if you wanted
Maybe
to come
play.
back
That
and
would be
announce,
terrific,
announce
guys.
the event and hear the music, and I'm really looking forward
Yeah.
to it, and really appreciate you guys coming in today and
thank you very
having
much.
this conversation. So,
Thanks a lot.
That's great.
oh, and the website. If people want to get and stay in touch with the band, where can they do that online?
IronAgeMystics.com, and Twitter, Facebook is also Iron Age Mystics. So
Okay.
That's awesome. You know what?
the good thing about a name like that, it's easily Googleable.
Yeah. Plus, you can get the
Googleable.
.com, right?
Googleable.
You don't want to not
And
get the
.com.
.com.
I know.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Congratulations, guys.
Googleable.
You know what?
New
Hey,
term.
let's watch the video again, because now that we've actually had a chance to chat
Yeah.
with these guys,
I'm
we
gonna
can
see
watch
if
the
lyrics
video
mean
with
it that much more now.
new
Insight.
insight. Thanks. So here's what's the name of this song, guys, again?
Never enough.
Never Enough. Iron Age Mystics. We're going to come back with Tamara Penn as the lunch continues.
Oh,